Fact 50. There's a place where three oceans meet at one point. Cape Agulhas in South Africa marks where the Indian Ocean and Atlantic Ocean officially meet, though some geographers argue the Southern Ocean also converges here. The meeting point creates conflicting currents that have sunk hundreds of ships throughout history. The waters churn violently as different ocean temperatures and currents collide. You can stand on the southernmost tip of Africa and watch three oceans fighting each other. Fact 49. Antarctica contains a blood-red waterfall. Blood Falls in Antarctica pours deep red water down the face of Taylor Glacier into Lake Bonny. The color comes from iron-rich salt water that oxidizes when exposed to air. The water source is an ancient lake trapped beneath the glacier for over 2 million years. This subglacial lake contains microbes that survive without sunlight or oxygen, feeding on iron and sulfur. Fact 48. There's a desert in Canada that gets less rain than the Sahara. The Okanagan Desert in British Columbia receives only 6 to 8 inches of rain annually. Cacti, rattlesnakes, and scorpions thrive in Canada's only desert region. The desert exists in a rain shadow created by the coast mountains blocking Pacific moisture. Summer temperatures regularly exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit in a country known for ice hockey and snow. Fact 47. The Sahara Desert used to be a lush green paradise. Just 6,000 years ago, the Sahara was covered in vegetation, with lakes, rivers, and abundant wildlife. Ancient rock art shows hippos, giraffes, and elephants roaming areas that are now barren sand. The transformation from paradise to wasteland happened over just a few centuries. Beneath Sahara's sand lie ancient riverbeds and aquifers containing water from this wet period. Fact 46. Australia is wider than the Moon. Australia measures 2,485 miles across from east to west, while the Moon's diameter is 2,159 miles. This means you could lay Australia across the Moon with 326 miles to spare. The comparison seems absurd until you realize the Moon is much smaller than most people think. Fact 45. There's a spot in the Pacific Ocean that's 1,000 miles from any land. Point Nemo is the most remote location on Earth's surface. The nearest land in any direction is over 1,000 miles away. Point Nemo is so isolated that the closest humans are often astronauts aboard the International Space Station. The location serves as a spacecraft cemetery where agencies crash defunct satellites. Over 300 spacecraft have been deliberately crashed into the ocean around Point Nemo. Fact 44. The Atlantic Ocean is getting wider while the Pacific shrinks. The Atlantic Ocean expands approximately 1.5 inches per year as tectonic plates pull apart along the mid-Atlantic ridge. Meanwhile, the Pacific Ocean shrinks as plates subduct beneath surrounding continents. In about 200 million years, the Atlantic will be Earth's largest ocean, while the Pacific continues shrinking. Fact 43. There's a lake in Russia, so deep it holds 20% of Earth's fresh water. Lake Baikal in Siberia reaches depths of 5,387 feet, making it the world's deepest lake. The lake contains more fresh water than all the Great Lakes combined. Baikal is over 25 million years old, making it the oldest lake on Earth. Unique species exist nowhere else, including the Baikal seal, the only freshwater seal species. Fact 42. Africa is splitting in two. Right now, the East African Rift is actively tearing the African continent apart. A massive crack opened in Kenya in 2018, growing rapidly and swallowing homes. The Somali Plate is pulling away from the Nubian Plate at about 1 inch per year. In 50 million years, East Africa will completely separate, creating a new ocean. Fact 41. There's a river that flows backwards in Chicago. The Chicago River naturally flowed into Lake Michigan, but engineers reversed its flow in 1900. The reversal required digging massive canals and raising the entire city's street level. Today, the river flows away from Lake Michigan into the Mississippi River system to prevent sewage from contaminating Chicago's drinking water. Fact 40. The driest place on Earth has areas where it's never rained. The Atacama Desert in Chile has regions with no recorded rainfall in over 400 years. Some valleys in the Atacama have likely never received rain in millions of years. The desert is so dry that NASA tests Mars rovers here because conditions mimic the Martian surface. Fact 39. There's a forest in Poland that has 400 trees mysteriously bent at 90 degrees. The crooked forest near Grafino contains pine trees with bases bent at sharp right angles before growing straight up. All 400 trees curve northward in exactly the same way. Nobody knows for certain who bent them or why, though theories include human intervention for furniture making. Fact 38. The Dead Sea is dying faster than expected. The Dead Sea's water level drops over 3 feet per year, shrinking dramatically. The sea has lost over 1/3 of its surface area since 1960. Sinkholes appear suddenly along the shoreline as underground salt layers dissolve. Over 6,000 sinkholes have formed, swallowing roads and buildings. Fact 37. There's a place where you can walk between 2 continents. The Silfra fissure in Iceland allows divers to swim between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. The gap between continents widens by about 1 inch per year. The water is so clear that visibility exceeds 300 feet. You can literally touch 2 continents simultaneously while floating in glacial meltwater. Fact 36. Mount Everest isn't the tallest mountain from base to peak. Mauna Kea in Hawaii measures over 33,000 feet from ocean floor to summit, dwarfing Everest's 29,032 feet. Most of Mauna Kea sits underwater, but the mountain rises continuously from seafloor to summit. Everest has the highest elevation above sea level, but loses the tallest mountain title by objective measurement. Fact 35. There's a beach in the Maldives that glows blue at night. Vaiadu Island's beach glows electric blue after dark due to bioluminescent phytoplankton. These microscopic organisms emit light when disturbed by waves. Walking on the beach at night leaves glowing blue footprints in the sand. Fact 34. The Amazon River dumps so much fresh water, it affects ocean salinity 100 miles out. The Amazon discharges over 7 million cubic feet of fresh water per second into the Atlantic. This massive flow creates a freshwater plume extending 100 miles into the ocean. The river accounts for 20% of all fresh water entering the world's oceans. Fact 33. There's a mountain in Venezuela where lightning strikes 280 times per hour. Catatumbo. Lightning at Lake Maracaibo produces 280 lightning strikes per hour for up to 10 hours per night. The phenomenon occurs up to 260 nights per year. The lightning is visible from 250 miles away and has served as a navigation beacon for centuries. Fact 32. The Mariana Trench is deeper than Everest is tall. The Mariana Trench reaches 36,000 feet below sea level, nearly 7,000 feet deeper than Everest is tall. If you placed Everest at the bottom of the trench, its peak would still be over a mile underwater. Only 4 people have reached the bottom, fewer than have walked on the moon. Fact 31. There's a lake in Africa that turns animals into stone statues. Lake Natron in Tanzania has pH levels between 9 and 10.5, making it extremely alkaline. Animals that die in the lake become calcified, preserved as eerie, stone-like statues. Despite the harsh environment, millions of flamingos breed here because predators can't survive the caustic waters. Fact 30. The longest mountain range is underwater. The mid-ocean ridge system stretches over 40,000 miles, making it the longest mountain range on Earth. This underwater volcanic chain runs through every ocean basin. The ridge marks where tectonic plates pull apart, creating new ocean floor. Fact 29. There's a desert in China that sings. The singing sand dunes in the Gobi Desert emit loud booming sounds when the sand moves. The noise can reach 105 decibels, as loud as a motorcycle. The sound occurs when sand grains avalanche down dune faces, creating resonant frequencies. Fact 28. The Amazon rainforest creates its own rain. The Amazon generates about 50% of its own rainfall through evapotranspiration from trees. Water evaporates from leaves and returns as rain. A single large tree can transpire hundreds of gallons of water daily into the atmosphere. Fact 27. There's a valley in California that's below sea level and 134 degrees Fahrenheit. Death Valley contains Badwater Basin, 282 feet below sea level. The valley recorded 134 degrees Fahrenheit in 1913, one of the highest temperatures ever measured. Despite extreme conditions, Death Valley supports over 1,000 plant species. Fact 26. The Great Barrier Reef is dying at alarming speed. The Great Barrier Reef has lost over 50% of its coral cover since 1985. Back-to-back bleaching events in 2016 and 2017 killed massive sections. Scientists predict the reef could be functionally dead within decades if temperatures continue rising. Fact 25. The Aral Sea was once the fourth largest lake. Now it's gone. The Aral Sea in Central Asia has lost 90% of its volume since 1960. Soviet irrigation projects diverted rivers feeding the sea. Abandoned ships sit in the middle of desert that was once seafloor. The disaster created toxic dust storms from exposed lakebed. Fact 24. There's a rock formation in Australia that changes color throughout the day. Uluru appears different colors depending on time of day and weather. The rock glows brilliant red at sunset, orange at dawn, and purple during storms. The 1,100-foot-tall monolith is sacred to Indigenous Australians. Fact 23. Iceland is literally tearing itself apart. Iceland sits on the mid-Atlantic ridge where the Eurasian and North American plates diverge. The island grows wider by about 1 inch per year. This tectonic activity creates Iceland's volcanic landscape and geothermal features. Fact 22. There's a cave in Mexico with crystals as large as trees. The Cave of Crystals in Naka contains selenite crystals up to 39 feet long, weighing 55 tons. The cave sits 1,000 feet underground, with temperatures reaching 136 degrees Fahrenheit. Humans can only survive in the cave for minutes without cooling suits. Fact 21. The Caspian Sea is technically a lake despite its name. The Caspian Sea is landlocked with no connection to oceans, making it technically a lake. At 143,000 square miles, it's larger than many countries. The Caspian holds more water than all of North America's Great Lakes combined. Fact 20. There's a place in Scotland where lochs outnumber people. Scotland has over 31,000 freshwater lochs, but a population of only 5.5 million. That's more than 5 lochs per 1,000 people. Loch Ness alone is larger than all the lakes in England and Wales combined. Fact 19. The Amazon jungle owes its existence to African dust. Saharan dust storms blow 27 million tons of dust across the Atlantic to the Amazon annually. This dust contains phosphorus essential for rainforest plant growth. Without African dust, the Amazon couldn't maintain its incredible biodiversity. Fact 18. There's a lake in Indonesia that has 3 colors at once. Kelimutu volcano contains 3 crater lakes that randomly change colors independently. The lakes can be turquoise, green, red, or black, depending on volcanic gases. Scientists can't predict color changes. Fact 17. The Netherlands has land that exists below sea level because they built it. The Netherlands has reclaimed over 2,700 square miles from the sea using dikes. Nearly 27% of the country sits below sea level. Without constant pumping, much of the Netherlands would flood within days. Fact 16. There's a desert in Antarctica, despite it being covered in ice. The McMurdo Dry Valleys receive less than 4 inches of precipitation annually. These valleys have been ice-free for millions of years. Wind speeds exceed 200 miles per hour, evaporating ice before it can accumulate. Fact 15. The Black Sea was once a freshwater lake. About 7,500 years ago, rising Mediterranean waters breached the Bosporus, flooding the Black Sea basin. The event turned a freshwater lake into a saltwater sea. Some scientists believe this catastrophic flood inspired ancient flood myths. Fact 14. There's a river that boils at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. The boiling river in Peru's Amazon maintains temperatures near 200 degrees Fahrenheit for over 4 miles. The river is heated by geothermal activity. Animals that fall in are cooked alive within minutes. Fact 13. Madagascar split from India 88 million years ago, not Africa. Madagascar separated from India, floating across the Indian Ocean to its current location. Over 90% of Madagascar's species exist nowhere else on Earth. Fact 12. There's a country that's sinking and will disappear this century. The Maldives' highest natural point is only 7.8 feet above sea level. Rising seas threaten to submerge the entire nation within 80 years. The Maldives could become the first nation erased by climate change. Fact 11. The Congo River is so powerful, it doesn't mix with the ocean. The Congo discharges 1.5 million cubic feet of water per second. The force creates a distinct boundary where brown river water meets blue ocean water. The two water types remain separate for miles offshore. Fact 10. Mount Kilimanjaro's glaciers will disappear within 20 years. Africa's highest peak is losing its iconic snowcap. Over 85% of the glaciers have disappeared since 1912. Current projections suggest complete glacier loss by 2040. Fact 9. There's a waterfall that flows upward in Hawaii. Waipuhia Falls occurs when trade winds blow water upward against gravity. The water never reaches the bottom, dispersing into mist mid-air. Visitors watch water defy gravity in mesmerizing reverse cascades. Fact 8. The Grand Canyon was carved in just 6 million years. The Colorado River carved the mile-deep canyon in an incredibly short geological time span. The canyon is 277 miles long and over a mile deep. The exposed rock layers span 2 billion years of Earth's history. Fact 7. There's a beach in California where you can collect jade. Big Sur's Jade Cove contains nephrite jade washed ashore from underwater deposits. Collectors find jade ranging from pebbles to 100-pound boulders. It's one of the few beaches where valuable gemstones wash ashore naturally. Fact 6. The Red Sea is literally splitting Arabia from Africa. The Red Sea formed as the Arabian Plate separated from the African Plate. The sea widens about half an inch per year. In 10 million years, the Red Sea could become as large as the Atlantic. Fact 5. There's a place where you can see Russia from America. Alaska's Little Diomede Island and Russia's Big Diomede Island are only 2.4 miles apart. On clear days, you can see Russia from American territory. The international date line runs between them, creating a 21-hour time difference. Fact 4. Angel Falls is so tall that water evaporates before hitting bottom. Angel Falls in Venezuela plunges 3,212 feet, making it the world's tallest waterfall. During dry season, water evaporates into mist before reaching the bottom. The fall is 19 times taller than Niagara Falls. Fact 3. The Sahara grows larger every year. The Sahara Desert expands southward at a rate of 30 miles per year. Climate change and overgrazing accelerate desertification across the Sahel region. Farmland turns to desert, forcing millions to migrate as land becomes uninhabitable. Fact 2. There's a place in Norway where the sun never sets for months. Svalbard, Norway experiences 24-hour daylight from April to August. The sun circles the horizon without setting. Conversely, from November to February, the sun never rises, creating polar night. Fact 1. Earth has a hidden continent called Zealandia. Zealandia is a 2 million square mile continent that's 94% submerged beneath the Pacific Ocean. Only New Zealand and New Caledonia are visible parts. Zealandia broke off from Australia 85 million years ago and sank as tectonic plates shifted. Scientists officially recognized it as Earth's 8th continent in 2017. The continent contains rocks and fossils, proving it's a distinct landmass. This hidden continent demonstrates how much of Earth's geography remains unknown. The discovery proves that even massive geological features can hide in plain sight beneath ocean waves. Which geography fact shocked you most? Drop your answer in the comments and subscribe for more mind-blowing facts about our incredible planet.